I, like many other people, have seen the BasicTalk commercials for quite a while on television and even heard a few of them on the radio. And I've also seen these BasicTalk analog telephone adapters at the local CVS store for quite a while now. And they have been full price, $10, which is really not a bad deal for an analog telephone adapter. But just this past Friday, I noticed that it was marked down 50%. They were selling it for just $5 and whatever taxes were associated with it. So I decided to take a chance on it and see if it's worth the hype. Checking BasicTalk's website, it claims that phone service is only $9.99 a month. That is, of course, not including taxes and government fees associated with their phone service. So $9.99. Looking online on Amazon, they sell this exact same adapter for only $8.31 and free shipping. So if I were so inclined to actually wait for one to come here, I could have bought one and saved myself a few dollars. But really no sense in doing that since the ones at CVS were marked down 50%. And then if we go over to the Magic Jack website, it has a little comparison chart they've established to compare their services over to BasicTalk's. And it looks like Magic Jack is the cheaper alternative, coming in at $59.95 the first year. BasicTalk, of course, $10 times 12 months, that's $119.88. And then the second year of Magic Jack goes down to $35 because you're not paying for the actual analog telephone adapter. And BasicTalk stays the same at $119.88. So, needless to say, there are quite a variety of different VoIP service providers out there, voice over internet providers such as Vonage. Vonage 2 is offering $9.99 a month unlimited local and long distance US and Canada phone calls. But I wanted to pick this thing up because I've heard tell of being able to actually unlock this analog telephone adapter and use it with any SIP voice over IP service you desire. So that's exactly why I picked it up. And if it doesn't work, I could always just return it since there's a 30-day return policy. This does come with voicemail, but I believe you can turn that off to replicate a traditional landline where you use your own answering machine, caller ID, call waiting, and E911 services. So you have to sign, when you sign up, you have to give them your address, so that way if you call 911, they can actually send your address and information to the dispatcher. Unlimited US and Canada calling, $9.99 a month every month, no contract. And you see, you just hook it up to your internet. There's your BasicTalk analog telephone adapter, and then there's your traditional analog landline phone. So this is a Grandstream, a rebadged Grandstream ATA device, so it can be unlocked. It's a bit arduous, but it is possible. That's one of the reasons why I decided to pick this up. I'll use their services for the free month that's included, if I can, and then continue on from there with using my own service. You can see it actually says right here on the box, if I lift this flap up, Grandstream model HT701. So it's just a rebadged Grandstream analog telephone adapter with the BasicTalk branding. Here's the inside of the box. It's got a little note on the outside that says, to activate your service using the following link if you purchased it through a retail location. And if we open this box up, we have a quick start guide, copyright notice and warranty information, and then here is the BasicTalk analog telephone adapter, very light and very small. It's inside this little protective packaging. Then beneath this flap they give you an AC to DC adapter. This is a 12 volt 5 milliamp DC adapter, and then they also give you a small but decently sized Ethernet cable to connect this up directly to your router. Of course, this has no Wi-Fi functionality. You have to hardwire it into your internet. They give you this very nice illustrated guide on how to get started using it and how to connect it up to the internet and actually make phone calls. Even tells you how to go about locating an open Ethernet port. But first off, it says that if we purchase this unit from retail, we're going to need to activate it by going to BasicTalk.com and activating it that way. I'll go ahead and go to the website and enter in all the information that's desired. Here we are over on the BasicTalk activation website. And you start off by entering in your MAC address, which is printed on a sticker on the bottom of this device. So review your calling plan, $9.99 a month, all that you need for home service. And I will get a new number and enter in the relevant information here to get a number. I obviously couldn't show you the part where you're putting in all your personal info, but I can show you the account summary This is where you manage pretty much all of the features and things that are related to your BasicTalk phone service. You can turn on and off a voicemail, which is nice, so that way if you want to stack like a traditional landline. And here we are on the online account portal. This is where you manage your entire account. There's a few settings in here that are pretty neat, such as being able to turn on and off voicemail, do not disturb, call waiting, anonymous call block, which comes in handy for people who try to use and block their caller ID. Yeah, and you can block your caller ID as well on an indefinite basis. Of course, I'm pretty sure *67 would work, but I have yet to actually test that. And we also have the area where you can view your voicemail messages that have been left for you if you have voicemail service activated. If you go over to the billing and payment section of the site, you'll see that this will tell you exactly what your monthly bill will be. And in this case, it's not a flat $9.99. It is, well, no surcharges, thankfully, but we do have some government-mandated taxes and fees. We have state sales tax, state 911 fee, which is 90 cents, and a federal program fee for some reason, which is $1.05. So you're actually going to be paying about $12.71, give or take a few pennies, nickels, and possibly quarters, depending on where in the country you happen to live. And on the back, you do have areas where you can mount this to a wall using screws. And we can see that this is just simply a Grandstream model HT701 analog telephone adapter. So theoretically, you should be able to use this with any SIP service if you can flash a non-custom firmware to this thing. On the rear, we have the Ethernet, 12-volt DC input, and phone jack, as well as a very small reset button. I just realized the one thing that they don't give you is the telephone line cord. You need to provide it yourself. I have the BasicTalk analog telephone adapter connected to the Ethernet cable. I've got the 12-volt DC input connected to it, and then the regular RJ11 phone cable that I had to supply is connected into this phone. Now, something I was a bit surprised to find out is that BasicTalk does provide 411 directory assistance, but it's not just that automated voice IVR-based 411 directory assistance. If you keep pressing and mashing the 0 key, you actually get to a live human operator, which is something that I wasn't expecting, so I'll go ahead and demonstrate that.
Let me transfer you to an operator.
And just like that, it works just fine. So you actually can speak to a live operator and get directory assistance, which is something I was not expecting to get with a $10 a month VoIP phone service, but I guess Magic Jack provides it, so why not BasicTalk? Now, a feature I found out about that's not officially supported, at least via BasicTalk's version of this Grandstream HT701, is that of call transferring. If you Google that model number, you'll come across the Grandstream website's product manual for this version. You can either do a blind transfer or an attended transfer. I tried doing a blind transfer, but it doesn't work. When you try to dial *87 and then dial a number and hang up, it does transfer the call, but the recipient will get some kind of a weird system prompt from the actual Grandstream BasicTalk HT701. So they won't actually get transferred to the correct number you dialed in. They'll get some kind of a weird system prompt. But if you do this attended transfer, it actually does work. It's a bit quirky and doesn't work reliably all the time, but for the most part it does work, and I'll demonstrate that right now. I will go ahead, place a telephone call to the BasicTalk analog telephone adapter in any moment. There we go. We can pick it up. Hello, hello. The person needs to speak with somebody else. You click flash. Then dial the number of the person you'd like to transfer them to. So in this case, I will call FedEx's 800 number just for demonstration's sake. And then it's going to ring any moment.
Welcome to FedEx.
You would just tell them, okay, I'm going to transfer a call to you, get ready, and then once you're done, hang up, give it a moment or two, and the other caller, the person you're transferring to, there you go. This phone will start ringing to let you know that the transfer actually went through successfully. So after you pick the phone up then, hello? The person would tell you they wanted to speak with somebody else. You'd say, hang on. Press flash or the switch hook on your older phone. Dial the phone number of the person that you'd like to transfer them to. So 463, I'm calling FedEx's 1-800 number. And if you give it just a moment, you'll hear that the call completed.
Sorry, I didn't get that. Please tell me what you
So what you do is go ahead and tell this person, okay, I'm going to transfer a call to you, get ready, and then once they accept it and say, okay, I'll be ready, hang up the phone, give it a moment. This phone will start ringing to let you know the transfer was successful, and the other party will then hear a quick dial tone and be connected to the phone.
Welcome to FedEx.
So what you'll be able to do once this phone starts ringing to let you know the transfer was successful is just pick it up, hang it back up, and these people will still be able to converse normally. And officially this device does not support faxing. I don't know if anyone's had any luck with it, but I don't have a fax machine to test it with, so that'll be the extent of my knowledge when it comes to that topic. So at least now I can actually have a phone that sits over here, and I can use it whenever I want. It's got a separate phone number. It's like having a second phone line. I'd say that's more than plenty good for what I need it for, and the ability to transfer calls makes it even better.